A shepherd boy tended his master's sheep near a dark forest not far from the village. Soon he found life in the pasture very dull. All he could do to amuse himself was to talk to his dog or play on his shepherd's pipe. One day, as he sat watching the shepherd in the quiet forest, thinking what he would do should he see a wolf, he thought of a plan to amuse himself. His master had told him to call for help should a wolf attack the flock and the villagers would drive it away. So now, though he had not seen anything that even looked like a wolf, he ran toward the village shouting at the top of his voice, "Wolf! Wolf!" As he expected, the villagers who heard the cry dropped their work and ran in great excitement to the pasture. But when they got there, they found the boy doubled up with laughter at the trick he had played on them. He was a clever boy. A few days later, the shepherd boy again shouted, "Wolf, wolf!" Again, the villagers ran to help him, only to be laughed at again. Then, one evening, as the sun was setting behind the forest and the shadows were creeping out over the pasture, a wolf really did spring from the underbush and fall upon the sheep. In terror, the boy ran toward the village, shouting, "Wolf, wolf!" But though the villagers heard the cry, they did not run to help him as they had before. "He cannot fool us again," they said.
Not again.
The wolf killed a great many of the boy's sheep and then slipped away into the forest. Liars are not believed, even when they speak the truth. That's the moral of the story.
And that's the story of Jussie Smollett. Do you guys remember that Jussie Smollett situation?
Oh, yeah. I remember.
Bridget was like, who the fuck is Jussie Smollett?
She doesn't know who that is.
I don't know
She
who
doesn't
that
now.
is.
I really don't know who a lot of people.
Y'all never watched Empire?
Never watched Empire. Never paid attention to the news.
I liked Empire, actually.
Empire's there. Anyway, so.
It's show for sure.
It's
What's
definitely
his name, real quick?
Jussie Smollett.
Oh, God, my phone just clattered to the ground.
Yeah, and it disheveled everything beneath you as well. Like it knocked over all your things.
Oh no,
I
your
can't
drink
reach
is
it.
on the
empty.
downward.
It's empty.
Okay.
Yeah. Anyway, guys,
fuck.
this podcast, we thought it'd be a cool idea to take something like an old folk tale and see what cinematic presentations they have of this idea. So, like, there's so many out there, like Little Red Riding Hood or Hansel and Gretel. Like, there's all these stories, these folk tales that have, like, some sort of moral. And we wanted to see them depicted in film in totally different ways. So that's what we did here. We're reviewing Cry_Wolf, and Big Fat Liar.
Big Fat Liar.
We should start with Cry_Wolf, right?
Yeah, I think
Well,
so.
first, what's everybody's names? What are they doing?
Oh, I'm Franny.
I'm Bridget.
I'm Madison.
Logan.
Bridget, did you figure out who Jussie Smollett is?
Barely.
She didn't. She's
Fair
not.
enough.
She looked at
Okay.
the name, saw he was a person, then said, "That's it."
Yep. She was like, "Nope, don't know who that is," and then just went.
Doesn't know why it's significant to the story or the
I
joke.
did see that he was arrested for falsifying a police report.
Yes. Do you know what the police report was?
No.
He told people that he was attacked by two guys in MAGA hats, wrapped a noose around his neck, and they poured bleach on him. And as it turned out, he paid two black gentlemen, two Haitian men, to do these things to him for a press release.
Oh my
What the
god.
fuck?
Crazy.
That's ridiculous.
Ridiculous.
Wait, he couldn't even find paid white guys to do this?
It is double that he got black guys to do it.
Right.
That is double funny. Like, it is. It is kind of funny.
I'm just like, at least where we live, it wouldn't be that hard to find some white guys willing to do this for some money.
But as a result, there's so many people who are going to take like
They'd be pretty
statements like that
excited.
less seriously, and it's so annoying.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
fucked
Because that's
up.
some real shit that happened. Like, that really fucking
Right.
happened. And they're
Absolutely.
fucking Jussie Smollett just had to pretend to get attacked at a Subway.
A Subway?
Yeah.
Eat free?
Or he was coming back from a Subway.
I don't think it was that kind of Subway.
No, I think
Oh,
so.
like
I
the
think he got like a
restaurant?
sandwich from a Subway. Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Eat free.
He freefed.
Eat
He
free.
did not have tuna, even if he got tuna.
Okay, I fuck with Subway tuna,
It's
and I don't think I'll stop.
It's
fucking with
weird that
Subway
it's a new
tuna.
classification of meat, and that's why I don't accept
It's not
it.
meat.
Like,
There's
I
tuna,
don't-
and then there's Subway tuna.
I've always loved the Subway tuna, and I always feel like a gross bitch getting it, but I
You
will
are.
never stop.
It's so watery.
Whenever I defend it, nobody like I don't even have anything good to say. It's just delicious.
Like my
the
friend,
best sandwich is where you get that on like the Italian bread, and you get, or like I used to get the grainy bread too. Sometimes like the honey wheat one, and you get mayo on it too, and like just some cheese.
This is a podcast
Fucking
about
gross.
movies.
my
so
friend
fucking
Jake,
good, though.
this is important. My friend Jake worked at Subway, and one day they dared a new kid to drink the leftover tuna
Stop.
water for
Ew.
$50.
Did
he do
That's
it?
so gross.
Fuck yeah, he did it.
I'd do it.
No.
I'd do it for probably even less money.
You do it for free. You're like, give me that tuna, that not tuna
Yum.
water.
I fuck with tuna, but that's some good
Stop,
shit.
No.
stop.
Oh, wait,
Everything
that's
must
a
stop.
bad-
It makes
that's
me
a
really
bad way to say
uncomfortable.
that.
This plate should like go on the floor or something. I
Okay.
just keep hitting it with this microphone stand. It makes a little noise. Okay. Anyway, Cry_Wolf.
A great
Yes.
movie.
So this
Is
movie,
it?
What year did it come out again?
2006, I
Wow.
believe.
Yeah, I think so.
It shows.
Yeah, it's very like about like AIM fucking messenger.
Yeah, so that's the whole thing is that what happened was they wrote the movie
2005.
and then 2005, sorry. And then they went and the script had like so much called for like instant messenger, being very involved with that stuff, and they started a marketing campaign with AOL aka AIM Messenger. And the movie got pretty much all of its popularity by people going on AOL and playing Crywolf with each other because it was the only game you could like play on Instant Messenger. And it was like a lot of fun, and that really got it to be popular with people. Like people wanted to go see Crywolf because they used to play Crywolf.
Yeah.
in their
that
Instant
makes
Messenger.
sense.
And that was a good idea that I feel like hasn't really come back into the fold, even though social media is so much more prevalent now.
I feel like
Like the closest thing they did was if you went and saw Amazing Spider-Man 2, if you played the credits on Shazam, it'd show you a secret scene.
I feel like
Hold on, pause real quick.
So like I think that probably the only thing that like would be comparable to it now would be like an ARG. Either
What's an ARG?
oh. So it's an alternate reality game, or I believe.
Yeah.
So like basically people like leave clues online to a storyline, or like they'll post a bunch of like Instagram posts as if they are somebody in distress, or or is as if they will have somebody captive or something, and then leave clues, and like people will like try and figure out who they are, or, like what they're trying to say, whatever. I just am very into them. But like they can actually be like pretty much anything. Any sort of like
That sounds cool.
game that can be like against like across platforms, I think, and use social media in that way is like consider an ARG.
Yeah.
This is not as good of an example, but remember when that movie came out and it was called, I can't remember what the movie was called, but simultaneously there was this thing called the Charlie Challenge.
Yes.
And then all of a sudden this movie was out, and that was like how the thing was summoned or whatever. Like it's not as blatant as this, but it's like a subtle thing.
With this, they were really trying to capture basically making a movie like Scream, but for teenagers, because the teenage horror scene in 2005 was really like dense. Like the thing to go see with your friends is a movie that you were allowed to see at the cinema that's a horror movie. So what they did was they set out to make a teenager movie. They appealed to it on social media with the AIM Messenger stuff.
The Jared Padalecki of it all.
Well, I don't think he was anybody yet. But more importantly, the film is PG-13, so you don't need your parents to buy the ticket for you. That is the reason they gave for the film's rating, and that's why there's barely any blood in the movie.
And no titties.
There's none. No, even the unrated version, they so never intended this to be anything over PG-13
Yeah.
that there's nothing different really here. But he did try. The director tried to do it again with a little movie called Truth or Dare not too long after.
Oh my god, I didn't know that was the same director.
Same director as Truth or Dare, and
I
as
started watching that and I just couldn't.
Truth
keep
or
going.
Dare,
That's
we will
insane.
review at some point. Promise.
That's
Oh,
a
thank
wild
God.
film.
I love a Lucy Hale moment, dude.
But that's what they were trying to do with that movie was that, they involved YouTube, they involved like talking to people like on a wide scale. I think that really failed at what he's trying to do, but this movie for the time being kind of succeeded. But what I loved is how MySpace was just not in the conversation.
Right.
Because AOL existed, nobody talked about the fact that MySpace was actually what kids were doing at the time.
Right.
And there's so many like little fun things like that in the movie that really dates it. Like at one point, one of the characters goes, "Sounds like you were doing WWF tryouts upstairs."
Right.
And if you know anything about the World Wildlife Fund and their lawsuit against the WWF, it later was changed to the WWE.
Wait. Okay. What? I don't understand.
The WWF is what the WWE used to be called.
Yeah, they used to be called
Oh
the
my
World
God.
Wrestling Federation.
I didn't know that because I'm not into wrestling.
Well,
Right. Well,
Got with the wrong girly there then, huh?
Yeah.
Picked the wrong one in that lineup because Bridget, you don't know this about Madison, I guess, but she loves wrestling.
No,
I
Bridget
know.
knows I love wrestling.
Oh, that's right, because you try to wrestle her sometimes.
And she never will wrestle me.
Sometimes I wrestle you.
That's true. We wrestle a little bit.
Yeah, when I took my
Now that she's taking,
class.
yeah, I was like, now that you're taking self-defense classes, just take
She's
your
like,
wrestling too
"Fucking wrestle
seriously
me,
and goes
bitch."
too hard.
Right.
Madison's coming over with black eyes like, I love it.
She's wrestling me.
So what I always wanted, she's like got gaps in her teeth and everything. Like, this is what I always wanted.
Oh my god.
But yeah, there's like fun little moments like that. Like, you know, he's like, I can't believe that you're getting IM'd. And it's like, no one has ever used that, even when
Right.
AOL was a thing. It's DM, baby. Like,
Yeah,
you-
it's definitely
you're dated here.
It's very dated. And like
Yeah.
just and I mean the dialogue is dated. It's just not, I don't know.
And like, so the idea of the movie is there's this guy, he's British, and his dad's Gary Cole, who isn't British but pretends to be British, and his accent's really bad. And
He was in Pretty Little Liars, the
As
star. Just a comment.
all right, was he
Thought
good?
we should know. I mean, as good as you can be.
As good as anyone is on Pretty Little Liars.
Because in this he was kind of bad. But
I mean, yeah.
what I was gonna say was, so he moves to the school. He instantly meets a girl, which, by the way, like later plot wise, doesn't make a whole lot of sense. Their meet cute moment almost has
Yeah.
nothing to do with the movie and doesn't make any sense.
Correct.
Because she would like, it doesn't matter. We'll get into that. So anyway, he joins this group of friends. They basically play over the top, edgy version of Mafia. And the
money.
idea is for money, and the idea is they're trying to figure out who the wolf is for all you One Night Ultimate Werewolf fans. Basically, that's what they're playing. They lie, but there's this weird system that doesn't make any sense, where if you accuse somebody of being the wolf, they also vote on you,
Right.
which means that I would never accuse anyone ever, and like people would just
Right.
sit around and say nothing to each other.
Yeah.
Because why would like and if you are the wolf, you
traditionally-
would accuse people on purpose. So the first person who throws out an accusation, that's the wolf.
Right. And like traditionally, don't you accuse two or like sometimes or like you vote yes or no or
Yeah, it's not. It doesn't make any sense.
yeah, like I feel like normally you do a Big Brother style.
Yeah, it's a bit more complicated
Yeah.
in this movie for no reason.
Like just to make it edgier,
Right.
Like, so he could have the moment where he's like, "You have a tell," but he like had his Sherlock moment.
Yeah.
Yeah, which was so fucking. That's
It was so stupid. I was like,
Like,
okay.
You have a
thank
stepbrother, and just like started telling these facts that like didn't line up. And also that Grant guy, he's fucked up. That guy, the dude with the red hair.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
He says
totally.
2 racial slurs and calls someone the R word within
Right.
one scene.
yeah.
So
So I mean, like,
As
not,
much-
not bad that he's gone.
as much as we hate the pierced up guy who's like also obnoxious, he's still not as bad as
I
that
like
other
him.
dude.
He's gay.
Right.
I mean, they're definitely. God.
He is. You can't.
That's
can't
one
tell
of my
me
notes
differently.
is that Randall is gay. Also, he looks like Spinner from Degrassi. If you know, you know.
And
I don't
also
know.
him and Jared. So like, first of all, Jared Padalecki's character is also gay, and let me tell you
Yeah,
why.
very gay energy.
So the
all
first
around.
thing he
Definitely.
does when he meets Owen is he shakes his hand. And he goes, "I just beat off with that," and it's like, what? Why are you? What? Why? Why would you say that?
Yeah.
Like what? Why?
They
Why would
definitely
you do it?
give the rich kid energy that they're supposed to.
Yeah.
They're just as sketchy and just as
Yeah.
fucking weird. The sketchiest and most fucking weird situations I've been in have been with fucking rich kids because they don't have any like their concepts.
Rich people don't know how to act.
Yeah.
My
right.
favorite thing on the
And, like,
planet.
they're just fucking fearless.
Yeah.
my favorite thing on the
absolutely.
planet was how they had to oversell, like Jared Padalecki had to oversell his Texas accent that he actually had for the
Right.
movie, and it didn't sound real. It literally
Yeah.
didn't sound like a real accent. I'm like, he's faking that. It's like, oh, he's actually from Texas. Why was he going so hard?
Correct.
He might as well have said like rootin' tootin'. Like he was like really digging into it.
Damn.
But anyway, so earlier in the movie, you see that a girl got killed in the woods, and Dodger, apparently, as you're seeing from the movie, is such a demented fucking weirdo that she decides to make a game out of it with everybody. And they write a serial killer. And I'm a little confused about something with that.
Yeah.
So remember when they described their death scenes?
Yeah.
Did they put those in the email?
Yes, they did. Like those were his previous victims.
That is the dumbest thing ever. Because that is such a detailed like chain letter. Like,
Yeah.
And then he killed the beauty in the bathroom with a knife. And then, like, I would read that and I'd be
Right.
like, "What's up with this dude? And why is there so much British slang in this? What is going on?"
Right, like,
Isn't
okay.
it? He got stabbed, didn't it?
But no, I
Like,
will
that's
say,
what it is, dude.
It did come from him. Like, he was the one who sent the email.
Yeah, and then
Everyone
then
knew.
No, I don't think so.
yes, he did.
Really?
Yes,
he
he
got
did.
in trouble for it.
And then here's the thing.
No, I'm. Wait. Oh, okay. I thought you were trying to say that the email was supposed to be like it was written by the killer.
No,
Okay,
no,
I
it's a
was like,
chain
I didn't get
letter.
that. Yeah, it was a chain letter.
It's but the thing is he wrote it probably like he's known American
Yeah.
people for 12 minutes.
Right.
So there's probably a bunch of like British slang in there, just saying.
Yeah.
And then also he said if he got caught, he'd say he got it forwarded by somebody. What happens when someone approaches you and goes, "Okay, show me that forward." You
Yeah.
dumb fuck.
Correct.
Right.
So John Bon Jovi finds out. Well, that's later. We'll get to that.
John Bon Jovi. of it all.
So
Yeah.
they sent out this chain letter, and like, by the way, that's really fucked up. And like the person whose daughter actually was killed had to like live more tragically with like more.
Right.
Yeah, it
Like-
gives me very
More
like My
pain.
Favorite Murder vibes.
It's so bad.
just
Yeah.
like just like tone deaf.
So
Fucked up.
they describe this cry
Trying to
underscore
profit
wolf
off of
killer
the victim.
as having like a green army jacket and like a neon orange mask, and that kind of pisses me off about the movie too. They could have made this killer look a lot more creative than they did.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it really is like the most boring costume ever. So
They
anyway,
totally had like a Donnie Darko moment of it all. Like
I
really
feel
had
like I got that costume from Walmart.
Yeah.
yeah, exactly.
They could have made him really interesting.
And they said it needs to be somebody who can easily act. Like, why? You said he travels towns.
Right.
He could get whatever he wants because he's clearly traveling. Like, you missed out on a better serial killer in your movie.
Right.
And the whole time you're dealing with this group, this cast of characters that have the depth of the popular kids in Twilight that talk to Bella. They all have the same level of depth, in my opinion, where none of them are characters.
But they all think that they're so deep, and they have these conversations that like nobody talks like this ever.
And so over the course of time, they're all playing pranks on each other that are incredibly mean and mean-spirited
Right, like they're all like we're
and
best
dangerous.
friends, but they play
Right.
these very cruel pranks on each other.
Absolutely.
At one point, there's two boys who are throwing giant shards of ice over their heads without looking into a pool with a girl swimming in it.
I mean, that's just bored rich kids.
And then Jared Padalecki
Honestly.
chased him around this kitchen like brandishing a knife.
That was not him. That was not Jared Padalecki. That was Mercedes. And the reason she agreed to do it was because earlier in the movie, she said, a serial killer can be a woman. And Owen like smirked at that.
Oh, I thought that was
So
Jared
she,
Padalecki.
no, the person who was chasing him through the
'cause
kitchen.
No, it was Mercedes in the car.
Oh yeah, you're right. Mercedes in the car. You're
Jared
right.
Padalecki in the kitchen.
Was
Yeah.
it for sure him then?
I think so.
But that's the reason she agreed to do it, by the way.
Yeah, ridiculous.
Because
Yeah.
feminism, baby. Women can be serial killers too.
We love to see a girl boss winning.
Mercedes is so fucking the worst, one of the worst characters in this movie. And then there's that one cunt girl who's clearly like annoyed by everything and shouldn't be hanging out with these kids. Like,
Well, they all like act like they hate each other.
they do.
And
They really
do hate
do.
each other. And it's like, well, why are you all friends?
Well,
then?
it's kind of like I think I just kind of get this vibe a bit more because I went to like such a small school where if it's that small and like you're with these people for that long, there's not really many options for friends.
I mean,
You're going to school with the same like
I feel like it's a
100
decently
people.
large school though. Like the parties
definitely don't
were
make it
at
seem
and
like-
everything. Like
Yeah, but they were clearly the outcasts, though. Like, not the outcasts,
yeah.
but like these were the kids that would act out all the time.
Yeah.
Because
Right.
when everybody got pulled down to the office, they knew all the right kids to grab.
right.
They collected all of them instantly. And the Mercedes character bothers me so much for one other reason, is that she's just like supposed to be the hot dumb person to the extent where it feels like her boyfriend is like babysitting her. Like she'd
Yeah.
say something stupid and he'd be like, "Oh, little baby,
right.
it's okay. Brain hurt, don't it?" Like, I mean, and then you expect me to think that she has this great feminist arc, and they really ignore it, but that's what it is.
yeah.
Like, that's what her character had, a feminist arc, apparently.
that's fucked up.
It's just so
Nothing
dumb.
about this movie is feminist.
And the product placement in the movie is so odd. Like
Like
Dodger's just problematic.
Right.
we'll get into Dodger, I promise. But the scene where they're playing chess together,
Oh
and
my
he goes,
God.
"Nice chess set," and he says, "Got it off eBay." And then Owen returns with, "You're gonna send the bitch out that early?"
It was
What?
so cringy. Like, don't call the queen the bitch.
Especially not to your teacher.
Right. It's so
Especially not to
gross.
Bon Jovi.
Right. That's John
Right.
Bon
He's like,
Jovi.
you know what, Owen? You give love a bad name.
He gives love a bad name, honestly.
He sure
my
does because he's
God.
fucking students.
It's gross.
Yeah, we love fucking fetishizing. I cannot say that word today, but making pedophilia okay in a fucking
Right.
movie.
I don't know
like,
if that's true. I feel like you kind of, the moment you
fucked
see
up.
that, the Bon Jovi character, like that teacher, I mean, because of what the movie wants you to perceive, he's instantly painted a bad light from that
No,
point
but
on.
Dodger's supposed to be like edgy and cool.
But yet again, I've reinforced that. I think later that's kind of...
I will say this, though. Like,
And also, she's played by a 26-year-old woman,
Oh my
obviously.
God.
She looks so much older than the
Oh
other
yeah,
kids.
I know. I
Yeah.
just
Like, Jared Padalecki almost still kind of looks young, but this Dodger bitch looks like
Yeah.
she's one of their parents.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
and it just feels like they're like put like white powder on her face and is like, here
Right,
you look
right.
young now.
I will say this, though. I didn't like how the movie, like, blamed, like how Dodger ended up being the villain in the whole movie
right, and
as a result of her relationship with
All right,
this
we'll give
teacher.
spoilers.
Well, I knew.
She's the only person who killed people.
Yeah. And I think
She's the
it's-
bad guy. I don't care about
yeah,
the rest.
no, but I think it's dumb that her bad guy arc stems from this relationship with her teacher, like making it seem like it's her fault, and then that like she.
But if you murder somebody because your adult boyfriend was dating them at one point or possibly cheating on them with you, you're still a serial killer. Not a killer,
No,
but
I
you're
know.
still a killer. You
I
still
know.
murdered somebody.
I
like,
know that, but I'm just saying, like in terms of like the movie's actual writing, I think that that's kind of like a lame reasoning.
Yeah, her like
yeah,
motives.
I mean, I get
I don't
that.
know.
you just have to like assume she's like very unhinged.
right off the bat, though, you have to set up the scenario because they're so intent on making this about a kid who always does bad, a kid who's always lying, having to come forward and try to explain the truth to people that people won't believe. And the way you do that is set up an incredibly unbelievable scenario on top of everything. I just think that the character itself isn't the only problem with the movie. And from
No, there are lots of problems.
I don't really care about Dodger's depiction being like sexist because I think that there are 110 issues with her before we even get there.
Yeah, I mean, this movie just is not good.
But it's
But it's
also
great, though.
wildly
It's so
entertaining.
great.
yeah, it's
I
fun
love
to
this
watch.
movie.
For some reason-
100% watch it.
For some reason, the whole movie's in this weird like orange color grading. It's very annoying. It's
They
like
were
reverse
trying really
Twilight.
hard to be Halloween H2O
I
by
know.
like making it like a masked killer with a knife at a boarding school
On
And
Halloween.
It had been enough years later. Oh my god.
Right.
Guys, do you remember when the little girl busted in the office and went trick or treat?
That was so fucking stupid. Like I was like, what the fuck was that?
And it was just so he could be like, it's not actually Halloween. And the thing is, H2O has a similar revelation moment where she looks at like, sorry to review H2O. I'm just talking about this one part. One of the characters finds out a fact and goes, actually, it is tonight for that reason. And then he does the exact same thing where she enters the room and he has a revelation. I'm British, so I thought Halloween was October 30th because I'm also British and illiterate. But it's tonight. What the fuck is that? Why? And then also, why would everybody be fucking with you so hard? Like, and then just to plan to fuck with you again.
Right.
Just to fuck with you again. Like, why are they fucking ruining this guy's life so hard?
Yeah, like why?
And I'll tell you why. It's because Dodger is a manipulative, crazy bitch.
she is.
Yeah,
she's
she's
a
insane.
fucking
Yeah.
psychopath.
She's so manipulative. She's like, I can't say it because that's spoilers. She's manipulative as fuck. Like,
yeah, absolutely.
that is the one character trait that like is apparent early on, and maybe for some people it's like a nice 1-2 punch, but I always knew there was something wrong just by the
Right.
way she carried herself. Like, she was never as worried about everybody doing all this shit as everybody else. She was always flippant about it.
yeah, from the
Right, and
beginning,
she
I
was
was
the
like,
She
ringleader.
pretended to drown, and
Yeah.
which I mean, I get they were throwing giant ice shards, but just like the calmness of her, knowing for a
Right.
fact that it's definitely her friends, and the
Right.
and like when you think about that, it's like she knew it was definitely her friends because she's the killer. She knows the whole time she's the one with the orange mask on. She's the wolf.
Right.
yeah,
Yeah, that's
she's
fucked
something
up.
else.
Oh, also,
Unhinged.
her dad's a
Unhinged.
janitor, and that's a
Yeah.
plot line. But so's Owen. So how the fuck did he not meet him?
That's a very good point.
Oh my god.
They're both janitors. How did you not meet him? How did that never come to be?
Yeah.
Well, he probably met him, but like didn't know that he was Dodgers.
Why?
I'm guessing the vibe that you get from the movie.
We're talking about
is
somebody
that-
who is inspecting everyone at this school to an extent where he's calling he's calling a college, asking for a girl he doesn't know so he could speak to her and be like, is Grady there? But he can't figure out that the janitor that he fucking works with every day is his girlfriend's dad.
Well, it's very clear that like she doesn't talk about it and he doesn't talk about it, and like they probably
Wait, you mean the dad?
Like
Yeah.
the dad doesn't.
Is that clear?
Yes. By
Yeah,
her
because-
ignoring him, like, and like acting like they don't know each other.
Man,
it's very clear.
but if you're okay, I don't know, man. That's
It's
so
very
insane.
clear.
That's like next
It's
level.
got the same
You'd
vibe.
see-
Like, it's
you'd be
just
seeing his
semantics.
face all the time.
It's got
You'd be
Glee
hanging out.
vibes. Glee vibes with the fucking lunch lady. Like
Everybody knew that was okay.
no, but they like pretended like it wasn't. Like it's a thing. Like they were pretending.
I
like
do
they
not
didn't
go
know
to
each other.
Glee for whether a scene is sound to me.
But I feel like
anyways,
this is such a minor
it's
fucking
the-
detail.
it's
But
the
it's a
logic
weird.
of the
But it's a
movie.
weird ass detail. Don't you think it's weird that they did that? Because
Yeah,
him
this
being
movie-
a janitor is almost pointless.
Yeah,
and
well,
then
this movie
Owen
has
being
a
a
lot
janitor
of-
No,
is
it
also again
is.
almost
no,
pointless.
it is pointed.
No,
It is pointed. Him being a janitor is pointed
Tell me.
because being like a townie is like considered trashy.
But she
in their
says
school.
that.
But
though.
she
Yeah.
says that
Oh,
she says
sorry.
she's a townie, and on top of that, she says her dad works there.
No, she doesn't say
Yes,
that.
she does. She literally does. He assumes it's a teacher. I swear on my
She
life.
says that about her mom.
Yes,
Not her
his
dad.
Mom is a teacher.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
No, she does not say her mom is a teacher. She says her mom is like a scholar. Like she
Oh,
lies
right.
about
She-
where she
Yeah.
comes from.
but she says her
She
dad works.
doesn't.
No,
she
Franny,
doesn't.
you're freaking out. Later in the movie, he confronts her, and she says all those things before anything's found out. She goes, "Actually, the reason why I'm here on the reason why I'm not here on the weekend or blah 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 whatever is I'm actually a townie." And she's like, "And my fucking," I think she literally says, "My dad works here," something along those lines.
Yeah, she just said her dad works here. She didn't get into details.
But my point is, if you're Owen and you're working every other day with this fucking other janitor, aren't you going to eventually come to a conclusion? Hey, you kind of look like Dodger. And you know what? I haven't met Dodger's dad. And also, you're oddly very aware of my presence and ignore the shit out of me whenever I'm with Dodger. Is there a reason for that? Oh, you're Dodger's dad.
This is such a
I
minor
think that
thing.
makes
But
no
it's very-
sense.
no,
I
it
thought
makes
you're
dude,
saying something that you weren't.
The whole point of the Owen character is he's like so involved and like the detective of the movie. He's figuring everything out.
That's
And
right,
it never
the, like,
crosses
the
his mind that his
hotels and
coworker
stuff.
is his
True.
girlfriend's
I mean,
dad.
That's a good point. Yeah.
I just think it's silly. They didn't have to be the same job.
And I think that just goes to show, like,
It's
for
like a
movie,
plot hole.
for a movie that like wants to like make it all make sense really bad and wants to be clever about that kind of thing. It's like it's silly that like a small detail like that would be forgotten about
Yeah, and
or not explained.
like, you know, there's parts of the movie that I like. I like the homage it pays to Scream, even though it's kind of dorky, where he shows up to the dance and there's all these people dressed up like the killer. Like that's
Yeah.
such a Screamism. But then you start to think about it a little bit more, and you're like, wait, like aren't people getting in trouble left and right over this wolf shit? Would you be allowed to do that? But that's like a
Right.
small minor detail. But that's one of the things I actually like about the movie. Also, the German philosophy joke is on point.
Yeah.
The old lady finds them like kind of close, like Dodger and Owen. She's like, "Go to German philosophy. No one will find you there." Basically, like, "I fuck. You should too." But
Right.
also saying to them like, "German philosophy is bullshit." Which, like, correct.
It's just like yeah, I just like you don't trust Dodger from the beginning, and so like therefore you don't care about this relationship. That was my other issue.
I like the dumbness of the characters. It really gives you
Yeah.
like that bad horror movie like House of Wax kind of vibes, where all the characters are incredibly disposable to me. The issue I find with the movie is like the final execution of like nobody really dies, like other than, you know, shot through the heart, John Bon Jovi, because he
Right.
was shot through the heart by Owen.
And I was very much unsatisfied with the ending. And I know we kind of argued about this, but I just did not. I felt like it just ended very abruptly. And
I feel like there was nothing else they could do past that. That would be pointed.
I guess it's just like it's weird because the movie didn't really culminate in anything because, like you said, nobody died.
I feel like it did.
So
though.
I guess at the
People
end,
did die.
only John Bon Jovi.
And his girlfriend.
Yeah.
That
but
frame
Two
job.
deaths.
That frame job, I think, would work as an ending
And you
in a
find
lot
out
of
somebody
ways.
that like you think
Yeah.
you're rooting for the whole movie was actually like a killer.
Who?
Dodger.
I wasn't rooting for that bitch.
Well,
I knew she was shady.
You weren't, but people do
you're
though.
Supposed to.
Yeah.
There are people who like her, especially when it like you said, one of the things that you actually kind of were weird about was like her dating an adult and then her being the villain. Well, when she was getting taken advantage of by this adult, you felt pity for her because that's a fucked up situation, as well as she's not actually one of the rich kids and she does these games because she's poor as fuck. You're also like, well, I kind of relate to that in a way too. And the fact that she's LOL girl boss is also another relatable thing for some people. This is the most girl boss there is. She determined everyone's lives.
No, I mean, they were playing checkers and she was playing chess.
100%.
That line is amazing.
It is for sure.
I want that
And
tattooed
the best part
on my
is
body.
they have like the Saw, you know, like how at the end of the Saw movies, there's always like that music in the montage.
Yep.
They have that while Owen's like, it was actually you who did it, into you. Like he was like telling her.
It's like, why
and
would
while he's telling her,
oh fuck, I can't believe you've done this.
You're seeing the what? You're seeing the oh fuck, I can't believe you've done this. You're seeing the montage. And one of the things in the montage is her going, you were all playing checkers and I was playing chess.
And she really was playing
She
chess. That
fucking
bitch
was, dude.
I
Like
love that they
Flo
worked that
Antonio
in-
style.
They worked that in twice because they knew
I
it was
love
Oh
iconic.
yeah, they knew it was spicy. They knew it was
They
a
just
good
were like,
moment.
just in case you didn't hear that.
I liked how the one character that was all like pierced up goes, and that's narcissism. That means like blah blah blah, and he like he's told the definition of narcissism, and I'm like, was that for him to be like a smartass, or was that because they knew 13-year-olds were watching the movie and they wanted to explain to them what that word was?
Right.
Because the whole movie's filled with I'm giving smart dialogue, but it's dumb. It's dumbed down for kids.
Correct.
It's literally stupider than the faux intellectual dialogue they're having, and that's weird because it's the crux of the movie.
Right. Like something I wrote down was like, these people are so fucking dumb and no one talks like this.
It's like if
The movie
Sherlock
wants
was
to
on like
seem-
Nick Jr.
Yeah.
Oh my God, yeah.
The movie wants to
That's
seem so
insane.
smart, but it is so dumb. It's just not. It's like it's trying really hard to be like
Gonna put the bitch out
intelligent
already.
and like have these like
Stairs in British.
have these like thought provoking conversations that actually mean nothing. It's just really stupid.
big same. I love the vibe of this movie. I love this movie.
I'm sorry we're knocking your movie.
No, it's
I
okay.
really
I
don't.
have so much.
I'm telling you
I
right
have a lot to
now,
knock from
this is a
movie.
genuinely entertaining movie.
No,
Yeah,
I
You will
loved
have
it.
an amazing time watching, especially if you grab some friends, maybe have a couple drinks, maybe get into Minecraft. I don't know what you do with your friends, but you get a couple of friends to gather around. It feels a lot like it's reminiscent of that feeling you get when you watch the Scream sequels or like you know, I Still Know What You Did Last Summer. It's in that
Yeah,
range of like this is a fun
absolutely.
bad horror
It's
movie.
a fun one to like show people too. Like if you've already seen it,
Right.
like it was fun to like rewatch it with you.
I
guys.
showed it to Franny for the first time not that long ago, since we've lived here, and she said it's one of her favorite movies.
It's so fun.
It's
It is a
good,
lot of fun.
especially if you did like kind of have a connection to that era of like IMs and AIM and all that
Yeah.
stuff. It's just- it's
WWF.
ridiculous.
WWF.
Which was actually like I think in like 2002, but it was still in people's vernacular. It was
Yeah.
that recent. Like nobody would make a WWF joke now because they'd be
Right.
like, "What about the World Wildlife Fund? Like what? What are you mentioning that for?" But back then it was so relevant. Also,
Yeah.
like, why did they let that dude tutor a class? Like, there's no way he's smart. And like the dude who said that, the redhead guy who was like always
Oh,
kind of
yeah,
fucked up.
right.
They're letting him tutor all these students, and they're all women, by the way. And he looks like sexy because he's
Yeah,
the
like
tutor.
yikes.
And I'm like, why is he allowed to tutor people? He literally, like, the R word is in his vernacular, and he's clearly one of the dumbest
Right.
people there. And then I thought, what if he's just a teacher who was hanging out with students?
Oh my god!
Oh my
like
God.
John Bon
Absolutely
Jovi.
not.
I see no proof of him being a student in any of the rest of the
I mean,
film.
that's a
Student,
good
he's one of
point.
their friends.
telling you, dude. He's
Also,
he's
I
a
love
teacher.
how to be the wolf.
He's Dodger's dad. No, I'm just
Dodger
kidding.
has to come around with her
Dodger's
fucking
dad.
lipstick and like write on your stomach. Like,
Right.
so fucking weird.
Yeah, there are better ways.
Yeah.
You could just whisper it in their ear.
Yeah.
But I mean, I guess you would have to have proof.
They wanted
Also,
a reason
like,
to take their shirts off. They're high
If
school.
you have half a fucking brain and somebody new's there and they were asked to be there by the girl running the game, you might, I don't know, guess that fucking guy.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Because the whole point is that everybody leaves until it's just the wolf and the person. And she's like, oh, she probably wants some alone time with him. Plus, he's the new guy, so she always fucks with people because that's who she is. She's a manipulative, crazy bitch. She fucks with
Right.
people. I would guess Owen, like, right away. But
And
it's
like, they're
Owen.
supposed to be people that like know each other really well.
He's like, it's me, wasn't it? You know, like, fucking hate
And
him.
it's so weird because like I don't know. It's just like the setup for that like dumb Sherlock scene where he gets to be all smart. And, it's
And
like,
there's a couple of those. There's a couple of those
there
throughout.
is.
My favorite is the one where like you find out it was Jared Padalecki's. I think his name's Tom. I don't know. He puts
I think so.
He puts a knife in Owen's bag, and Owen it drops on the ground, and that scene is hilarious.
It's so stupid because they're all
He's-
yelling at him like
He's
"Drop
holding
the
a knife and he's like, I don't want to hurt you. And he's like swinging it wildly. He's like, I don't want to hurt you at all.
not
And he's
my
like,
knife.
he's like literally like club dancing with the knife and shit. And like, you're like, just put it down. And then
Right.
John Bon Jovi's like, no.
They're all they're
like-
all yelling at him
Like,
because
we're-
his knife fell out of his bag and he chooses to like brandish it like he's
So-
gonna start stabbing.
So John Bon Jovi
Bizarre.
takes him and halfway to the office, he's like, oh, we're halfway there. Oh, you're living on a prayer. And then Owen goes, I know you fuck kids. And he's like, shit. So they just have that little moment. And he does like a Sherlock thing where he's like, here's the thing, I wouldn't need proof because just the mention of it in the fact, blah, blah, blah. And it's just like, dude, you're not Sherlock.
Like whatever.
You're blackmailing your rapist teacher. Big shock.
Gross.
Seems like the right move, Owen, to be honest. Seems like the right move.
Yeah, it's a
Right.
big yikes.
Yeah.
Like,
The John Bon Jovi of it all.
Like
Like,
right now,
why was he in this movie? I don't get it.
I think this was like his chance. And here's the thing. Here's the one thing I'll give you. When you see a celebrity acting in a horror movie, they tend to be a lot worse than John Bon Jovi was. in this.
Yeah.
I mean, if you think back to Busta Rhymes and Halloween Resurrection, doing karate and shit on Michael
Right.
Myers, or you think of like, what was a really bad one? You think of like Ice-T in Leprechaun in the Hood. There's bad acting from big stars in horror movies. I'm glad that like he was a musician turned actor. This was like his first acting thing. And he was totally like, you had to ask me if it was for sure him when you saw him on screen.
Yeah.
He kind of blended. He wasn't like amazing, but he totally blended.
I hated his dumb
Yeah.
little glasses. It was so stupid.
She just hated the look of him.
Yeah, I really did.
But it was his life, and it was now or never.
Right.
And he's got to see things, so he put his glasses on.
right.
It's just I
Naturally.
don't know. I just why, John? Why? One of my notes was John Bon Jovi. Why would you do this?
It's like phone sex 2.0.
Oh my
I wrote
god.
that down. I was like, what does that mean?
This movie, I think, might be one of the earliest depictions of sexting. And she
Yeah.
literally did the kink girl finger and mouth thing. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, and I'm like, what's wrong?
And we
with
all
you?
knew it's like, somebody's behind you. And they had to work it in the story to why he was freaked out in that scene. Because if he knew the whole time that it was fake, he wouldn't have freaked out that bad. So they needed
Right.
they put him in a position where he genuinely thought his girlfriend was getting married with barely any, or not married, murdered with barely any clothes on. Oh no, wait, I have it flipped. Mercedes didn't know. So
Yeah,
actually, that's
Mercedes
worse.
didn't know.
That's
Wait,
worse.
no, he didn't know until that moment either.
No, he
because
knew.
He got told right then.
He knew. I
No,
remember.
he got told right then as he was like the fake blood thing down the stairs.
No. He knew before then. They pointed that out. I remember
did?
now. Yes, absolutely.
Okay.
But they
He-
wanted, I feel like the implication is that she's too dumb to like act.
Yeah, and so they
Right.
literally made her think. By the way, while she could have been totally butt ass naked because she was getting in the shower, that
Or
she was
could've,
getting
like,
murdered.
freaked out and got
Right.
herself hurt. Like
Stabbed him.
fallen,
Stabbed the fuck out of him.
anything.
Yeah, anything could happen.
Remember, according to Mercedes, women can be murderers. She could have took him out. So there you go.
It's yeah, and like trying to keep up with all these threads and like figure out who's who and who's doing what. Something I wrote in my notes was this film is exhausting.
It really is.
Like
but,
you
like,
really
kind of in
have
the
to
best
work at
way.
it, and if you're like, you can either work at it and then be frustrated, or you can just like, let it happen. And
But
have
if
a
you
good
look
time.
at it backwards from the night from before he got totally fucked over, the final trick they played on him, when
Yeah.
everybody came together, if you look at that scene and then go backwards, everything makes sense. So like you were like, why was there a knife in his thing? Oh, because Jared Padalecki's character thought that his room was trash.
Right.
But in the moments of it happening, it just seems like a bunch of horrible shit. And they did not take enough time or have enough effort put into to make that scene, make that reveal worth it. Because
Yeah.
right away we're like, on to the next time we're lying to you and cause a murder to happen this time.
Yeah, and then just like because of the nature of it, you are automatically assuming that these people are lying. So like even when like after the pool thing happens, she pretends to drown, but then she actually is grateful for him to save her, and he believes her and takes her at her word about like where she's been. And it's like, why do you assume she's not lying to you? She's told you this is what she does. Like she was very explicit about this.
Right. Like this is
It's just it's something else.
she like came right out and said this like day one. Like there was no sugarcoating it. Like I don't.
What was her one line? Blah 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 your friends, or no, is like what? Trick your friends, eliminate your enemies. Blah 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 blah. Like
Yeah,
so
it's something
intense,
stupid.
Right.
and it's just like, oh my god, if people treated Mafia that seriously,
Right.
yeah.
Yeah. It's
It's
just
just
something else.
insane.
One of my favorite lines from the movie, I just want to say this, it's not even related, but one of my favorite lines is, I love the phallic energy.
I love the
When they're
phallic
talking about what the
energy.
weapon should be for their fake murder.
Oh my god.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Also, there's a moment where one of the characters in the group says, I hate to be the bitch here, and then somebody replies, you love to be the bitch here.
that was good.
And like,
That was good.
That was
that's
good.
me.
That's
I do love to be the bitch.
yeah. That was something else.
Yeah, it's a movie.
All right, I think we should.
This movie's fun.
And yeah, the big thing of the story is the same moral as The Boy Who Cried Wolf. This dude, this Owen character, has constantly been lying and doing all this shit, and also he's been kind of a little bit like not catfish, but
Yeah.
like
So
he's
basically-
he's tricked into thinking things are real when they're not a bunch of times. So
Yeah.
No,
his
they gaslight this man.
Yeah,
the
they
entire
gaslight.
time.
That's the
really
word I was
do.
We
looking
didn't
for.
really like say what Dodger set up. We probably should say that.
Well,
'cause it's
so
kind of
yeah, I'm
confusing.
getting
Yeah.
there.
Okay, cool.
That's literally where I was going.
Perfect.
So eventually he finds out the truth, which is that Dodger set up this elaborate game so that way eventually she could pin the murder of this girl that she killed on her teacher boyfriend, who was also seeing this girl that she murdered, and that's why she killed her in the first place. So basically, there's a murder at the beginning of the movie. You hear it's this blonde chick. You don't know anything about her. Turns out she's sleeping with the teacher who Dodger's also romantically involved with. And then she basically tricks Owen by saying, hey, the keys to his car is in his desk, but purposefully put a gun there. She knew that things would lead to John Bon Jovi's character getting there, and basically took a chance. Like, maybe Owen will die, but I don't care about that. But hopefully he'll die.
Set all that shit up.
Yeah.
Well, she said she knew
A
like
lot.
the kind of guy he was. He would want to like try to shoot like John Bon Jovi's character and stuff.
And
I
it
guess.
makes you wonder when
Yeah, but she
decided
also had to
that.
consider... She also had to consider the fact that John Bon Jovi might get a hold of the gun.
Yeah.
Like she
Right.
had to
Willing to
consider
risk
those
it.
things. But what's crazy is what's the most insane is it's not even his gun. She put it there. Like that's her
Right.
gun. That's why
Right.
he responds with like my gun. Like what the fuck are you
Yeah.
talking about?
And it makes you wonder too when she decided this was going to happen because she invites him to play that night.
That's what I'm saying. I think her
after
meet
the
cute
first game-
her meet cute moment was her decision to do that.
Yeah.
That's crazy. She meets a lost British guy. She's like, he has no ties. I can manipulate him.
Yeah.
That's fucking nuts, bro.
For sure.
Like definitely psychopath behavior. Like,
but yeah, and then like
even without her being a murderer.
My
in
point
the
is,
end.
he's told so many lies or like been involved in so much shit that when he goes, when he posits to her that he understands, she's like, nobody would believe you, which is literally The Boy Who Cried Wolf.
yeah,
Right.
it's just like I don't know. I just wish it ended a little bit differently. I wish there was more of like a resolution.
I love
Like,
the ending. I
That's
love
literally
that.
like I don't agree with you. That is
Yeah,
like the
I-
most resolved they could possibly make it.
Like,
To
they, like,
continue the story after that would be pointless
they
bullshit.
validated him in that moment.
Well,
that
like,
like
it just
we all
felt-
know and he knows, but no, the world's never gonna.
I don't know. It just felt like abrupt to me.
But
I
that's
liked
the point.
it.
It's like a slap in the face. It's the final reveal.
Yeah, I guess I don't know. I just like wanted something a little more. It just felt like
I just don't know what else would you have put there. Like what else would you have added? You have to talk about what you've added because you're saying it's stopping too short.
I don't know. I think maybe I would add like a final scene of how he's like coping with this, or maybe like a
Why?
little-
That's so weird. We just see him depressed and then the movie ends.
or we see what she's doing. Like I
We
don't know. I
know
just
she
think
got
there
away
should-
and she's smiling from ear to ear.
I don't know. I just think there should be just like a little something.
Do
on
you
the
just
end
want
of
like
it.
a walk away scene of her smiling?
Maybe that is what I
We
want.
did
would
get
get
that
that.
pretty much.
Yeah.
Yeah, you kind of get her like doing a little smirk.
and like walking out the door.
Yeah, I don't know.
Your thing was you were in Minecraft and you felt like the movie ended too soon.
Maybe that's true.
I just don't.
know.
I just
I'm in
don't see.
Minecraft now. I
Of
don't know.
all the critiques to say it ended it stopped short, that seems so untrue to me. I feel like it went on too long. Like I didn't care about the second time they were tricking him. They could have chopped out the whole dance thing entirely. They could have chopped
Yeah.
all that out, and I would have been like, "Great, hour and 10-minute movie sounds good."
Damn.
I'm serious. Like,
Yeah.
what did that whole like him running through the cafeteria,
Right.
the hot lesbians making out? Like, what was that? What did that
Yeah.
really add for real?
the hot lesbians.
No, but that's what I'm saying. Like, it's just
Right.
it's so pointless.
Right.
So like the ending isn't the problem. If anything, I'm like, cut more of this shit out.
I think it's perfect the way it is because I think it's good that they set up like another like elaborate lie before they did the big elaborate lie. Like
it just seems tiring to me.
Well, it was. That's what I said.
Dodger
I said it was
had to
You're the
do
one who's like, I
this.
should have had more, and you're like, but I was exhausted. But give me more.
Well, Dodger
Hate
did.
fuck me with this movie.
I just feel like it should pay. It just didn't feel like it paid off all the work that I did to get there.
I feel like it did.
What else could they have done?
I don't
so
know.
good.
I just I don't know. I just didn't.
You
I
just don't
didn't
like the twist.
ending.
You just don't like the twist of the movie.
I don't know. I mean, I don't know that it's not the twist. I just don't like. I just think it ends in a very strange way. I feel like it just like.
I think it
stops.
makes total sense because it goes back to the whole folk tale of it all, as well as like an interesting like final moment with the villain who succeeded. It was like it was totally. I don't know if I want to say it. I don't want to keep spoiling movies with examples, especially endings of movies.
I don't know. I just felt like it ended in a really abrupt way, and you have to do all these mental exercises to get all the way to this point.
What?
And it just like
It also wasn't that mentally taxing because they over-explain everything.
Yeah, that's how I felt as well.
I just think it's tiring because I'm like, I don't want to hear about a whole nother lie.
yeah.
Because
right.
I thought it was great the way it is because I like that there's one lie that the friends were involved in, and then one lie like it's like a
There were
it's
two
a-
lies the friends were involved in, and
Right.
and there was an extra one they weren't. Because they were with her the second time almost up until the end.
Oh yeah, true.
But then that's when that guy got shot through the heart, at the end there.
right.
Yeah, I don't know.
Also,
I
for
just feel like,
not a single stab to go through this whole movie is a little annoying.
yeah, that's true. Yeah, I don't know. I just felt like the ending just left me with something to be desired, and I don't know exactly what that is, but I feel like the way it ended was kind of abrupt. That's how I feel.
That's fair.
Or like maybe we see him at a different school and like he's starting
Why?
his own game.
That's so
I don't
extra
know,
and
just
pointless.
like something. I don't know. I just feel like
I don't disagree that you can feel that
something.
way, but your ideas you're giving me sound way worse than the movie we got.
Well,
if I had to
didn't
watch
write-
him like acclimate to another school, and then they're like, "So what's your name?" He's like, "Owen. I want to play a game." Like, what is he gonna do that's gonna like end it for you?
I don't
Or is he
know,
just
just
like,
like-
is he just joining like economics club? Like, what is the ending for you at that point?
I don't know. I mean, I didn't write the fucking movie. I just watched it.
But
and
you
I'm
just
telling you
suggested
that I
a
want
scene. I'm
something
telling you,
else.
there's nothing there.
Well, that's why I'm not the movie's writer, but I can
But my
still
but my
want
argument is,
more
I don't
from
think
it.
there's anything else to the movie. I think that they bled it dry for all of its content. I don't think there's another second of that movie. I'm not
know,
kidding
I
you.
just feel-
I don't think there's a fucking scene on the cutting room floor, dude. I don't
just
think
feel
there's
like
one
it
clip
ends-
taken out of that
well,
fucking film.
I feel like it ends and it's like yes, he got involved in the first lie, but then after that he really pulled away. So the message
No, I agree. The message is muddled
the
for sure.
message falls short of being like the fable. And so if you're gonna deviate from the
But at the
fable,
same
you
time,
should
they have the
make ending
workaround that he was a
reflect it.
bad kid before that.
But not
Because
really.
no.
because-
Actually, you know what? They do really have that workaround because at first he's trying to explain to the the teachers and stuff and the principal like this shit's happening, and they're all like, "We've seen your record." So he's the wolf the whole time, baby, or he's the boy the whole time.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, like we are made to feel bad for him because he's got this dad who's like a piece of shit and all that, and like I don't
What do
know.
you mean? I feel bad for the boy who cried wolf because he gets eaten by a fucking wolf at the end.
Well, not
Yeah.
him, just the sheep.
I guess it depends on the depiction of the story,
Yeah, that's
but
true.
still.
I don't know.
In
I
this
just-
depiction, he's a victim as well, and you can be. By the way,
Yeah,
if you can
absolutely.
still be a victim of things, even if you pretended to be one at one point. It wasn't true.
Yeah, but I just
Yeah,
think
I mean,
it kind of muddies
definitely.
the message of this movie. Like you said, like the message of it is muddled.
It's muddled for sure.
And so if you're gonna like,
It was put through a teenager sex like filter.
but yeah, but so like as a result of that, I think when it ends, it just leaves you with feeling like okay, and like I'm just like all right,
I love it. I think it's perfect the way it is.
fair enough. Should we rate it? Do we have other things we need to?
I think that's pretty much it. I went to the production
Yeah.
notes. The movie blew up and was incredibly successful, but now is incredibly dated.
Yeah, but it's in a fun way though, for sure.
Definitely. It's a fun
definitely.
watch. It's crazy how unavailable it is out there. Like, it's never on streaming. It's kind of buried over time, like House of Wax. Like, at the time, House of Wax was huge.
Yeah.
Then after it
I feel
wasn't.
like this is another Y2K movie that we could really give like a resurgence because I feel like the the whole like Y2K moment is like a thing right now.
It is.
And I think this deserves to be a part of that conversation, the way House of Wax has been.
Or I think that people could learn from the marketing of this movie, and like now that social media is so involved, you can make a great social media campaign for a film.
Yeah, you really
absolutely.
Like, but nothing's been as good as this. I mean, they basically sold all their tickets with this marketing campaign.
Yeah,
I mean, fuck, I would do it.
I would say AOL made worse out on the deal than they did.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's not a good movie by any means, but it is a lot of fun. I would recommend watching it for sure.
You know what's weird? They didn't use AOL in the movie.
They didn't.
That tells you that they definitely made it first, and then were like, do this marketing.
Yeah, and I mean,
because it's all generic
sure
messenger insert here. Like it was all like that.
Yeah.
I'm sure that they went to like different like instant messaging companies and were like, okay, which one of you motherfuckers is gonna pay?
You think
us the
Tom
most?
from MySpace was like, he turned away from the whiteboard and he's like, fuck no, and then kept writing whatever he was writing? I'm not doing that. I'm
That's
rich.
never gonna work.
And like Facebook wasn't a thing yet, so
Right.
or maybe it was, but not in the condition that. No, I don't even think it was.
I
at
don't
that
think it
point.
was.
I don't think so. I
I
think you're
think
right.
it was like
2005 was like really when MySpace was like starting to kick up, like becoming a thing.
Yeah.
It's weird because it's like the way the movie is made is like, this is the height of technology and this is shaping communication forever, and it's like nothing. It's like a Nokia.
Yeah. And in the next movie, we'll be talking about little small devices as well. We'll get to that of that period.
Correct.
But
Oh my God.
let's go ahead and rate this thing. Franny, are you all right?
Yeah, I'm all right. I would say I give this movie a 7 out of 10.
That's crazy because the entire time you were like, it's perfect the way it is.
Yeah,
I
and
thought
it's
it was
one of my
gonna be-
favorite movies.
I thought-
7 out
you
of 10.
know what? I thought it was going to be
No.
a solid 10 out of 10 for Franny.
I would say I give it 8.5 out of 10. If I'm being honest with myself, I really like this movie. It's really fucking good. It's just like it's cheesy and kind of campy, but it's fun.
I wouldn't call it campy.
It's
Well, I
definitely
wouldn't-
campy.
yeah.
It's become
I would-
campy
I would
with
say
time.
campy.
Yeah, it's a product of 05.
I
and
don't think it was
shows.
intentionally campy.
No,
No,
it wasn't.
but
know.
most of the best
It's
campy
campy to
things
me
aren't
now.
intentionally campy. I
I
think,
think that there isn't a level of intentionality about camp.
no, but not always though. Definitely not always. Especially
Yeah.
not when we're talking about dated things like bad old movies like, Manos, The Hands of
Yeah.
Fate or Cry
Yeah.
Wolf. That version of camp and like dorkiness is born out of it being aged out as well as it being directed towards a specific group of teenagers.
Yeah, that's true.
Right.
Like the TikTok movies now, like He's All That is really gonna suck in a couple of years.
I mean, it really
even
sucks
worse than
now,
it
to be
already
fair.
does.
Yeah.
But yeah, I see what you mean. I would call it, I guess camp in that aspect. That makes sense.
Yeah.
You could call it like American core or whatever, but I think that's less descriptive, but still totally right. What do you rate it?
I think I would give it like a 6 out of 10. I think that it was really fun to watch. Like my enjoyment value is disproportionate to the actual quality of the film. Like I just really enjoyed watching it and laughing at it and like making fun of it and then feeling bad because it's Franny's movie and I'm making fun of it.
It's
But
so
also
fun.
like you can't not.
This is really
Right.
just like we recorded 2 podcasts today, and like the last one we just recorded was last week's, like New Moon. So this has really just been my like day.
I know.
Right. but yeah, so like on the level to which I enjoy it, definitely like a 6 out of 10. I think that its script is ridiculous, its plot is ridiculous.
It's also another notably better in Minecraft movie though.
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, everything about it's ridiculous and
And it's not
so fun
boring.
to watch.
It's not boring.
It's not
Yeah,
boring.
that's
You're
true.
correct
I mean, because
about
like
that.
sometimes like bad horror movies, like bad like psychological thriller type
Seance,
movies are
yeah.
like really annoyingly boring.
Urban
because they're trying
legends.
so hard,
Right.
Whereas this is like it's actually fun to watch.
The whole time. Like it's actually fun.
Yeah.
It's I still know what you did last summer, not I will always know what you did last summer.
It's stupid, but it's a good time.
It's a good time. Bridget.
I'm gonna give it. I'm gonna say like enjoyment. I liked it like 10 out of 10, but like actual real critic rating would be like Probably a 5.5 out of 10.
It was only okay.
Yeah.
For me, it's totally a 7 out of 10. It's wildly entertaining. To the point where it bumps it up like 2 grades for me. Like if we really looked at it like a chemical, like if we looked at the ingredients put into this movie and the effort put in, it's like a 5 out of 10. But it's the actual concept of it, the characters, the actors, the acting, the music choices there. I think there was cake at the beginning, which is what I was going to talk about. And then they have there's cake in the beginning of the movie, and then halfway through they have like this weird hip hop thing that sounds like it's from Scooby-Doo during the dance.
It's horrible.
Mm-hmm.
So it's kind of that's exactly how I described the movie. Some moments are like really great, and then some moments are like really not.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, I think that like this could have been a good movie and a smart movie, but it just didn't know how.
It has really could if somebody smart had written it, like an Ari Aster take on this movie would be very interesting.
Yes.
Like rich kids like committing crimes, like, you know, doing all this horrible shit.
Yeah,
it's kind of like Exorcist 3 in that way, like where it's like these posh rich kids doing horrible shit. That's a great concept for a horror movie.
Yeah.
Rich kids are fucked up and privileged
they really
as shit.
are.
Sometimes, not always, sometimes. And that could make a great horror movie, but I don't know. I don't know what happened here. I just think that
Even
it was
like a Jordan Peele type take on it. I think could be really
that'd be
cool.
interesting, yeah.
Because he talks about,
But
like,
they would have to have
class
more
and
than a
structure
black
and-
person in it.
Well, yeah,
Who by the way is referred to as Jungle Fever at one point.
yeah, it's horrible, bad.
Terrible.
Yeah, it's tough.
All right, we're gonna take a quick break, guys. We'll be back with another Boy Who Cried Wolf story.
Woohoo.
Bada bang. Hey, looking for more content? Check out Crosscut Cinema, where me, Franny, and my friends review movies. Or check out a pilot podcast where we review TV pilots with recording artist CL Blue. Or hey, check out me hanging out with my friends on Average Joe Interviews. Socials and links are in the bio. Thanks, guys.
Hey guys, it's CL. I have an EP out now called Temple. It's a collection of songs I wrote when I was 18, and it's available on all streaming platforms, wherever you get your music.
So baby, look into my eyes. My body's a temple.
Can I call you Phyllis?
We're back.
I thought that we had to.
I said we're
What?
starting, and I said 3, 2. That's on you.
sorry.
We're
Did you ask if you could call me Phyllis?
No, I thought we were doing the beginning. Like,
We're in the middle of the podcast.
Yes.
Do we need to like reset?
I thought that we did it. Can we reset?
This is too good. We're keeping this.
Yeah, because also like it's gonna be real complicated to figure out where this began. So I ain't too good at the computer. So yeah,
But also, this is the perfect intro. Big Fat Liar with my boy Paul Giamatti.
My first note in my notes for this movie is Paul Giamatti is a national treasure.
The
Which he is.
sad Paul Giamatti Twitter is the best. Paul Giamatti. Oh, we were talking about Drake the type of dude memes before. There's a
Yeah.
Paul Giamatti the type of guy. Paul Giamatti the type of guy to drink wine in a coffee mug in the shower.
Oh my god.
Same.
Yeah.
I feel very
Fucking
prepared to
been
talk
there.
about this movie. I have
Paul Giamatti does a good stare cry, like all that stuff. Like Paul Giamatti hasn't had a good conversation in weeks. Like all the Paul Giamatti memes are so good.
I'm looking them up right now.
I think the Twitter is literally called Sad Paul Giamatti, but I could be off. There's definitely a Twitter account that started the whole meme though. You'll probably find
Hold
it.
on.
How do you spell Giamatti?
Giamatti.
Sad Paul Giamatti. I found him.
Oh, cool.
Oh, is he an Italian like me?
Yes, Paul Giamatti's an Italian.
I
like
saw
you.
something and it was like when you're Italian and marry a fucking plain ass white guy and have to get rid of your Italian last name, and it was like you gobbled your last goo. And that's gonna be me.
You gobbled your last ghoul. I've never had gabagool. Is it good?
I have
don't
no
know.
idea.
I want to try gabagool. So I've seen so much of The Sopranos, dude. And the lunch meat that they always serve looks so fucking good. I'm
I
like,
know.
shit, bro. Also, I totally had a crush on what's her name, Soprano, the
Meadow?
daughter, Meadow. When Meadow was like
Oh my
a
God,
teenager
yeah.
and I was but a boy, I was like, Meadow's fucking hot, bro.
I got lost.
Meadow
in here.
Soprano.
Well, now you have your own spice.
You know who Meadow Soprano is?
Yeah. I was looking at sad Paul Giamatti Twitter.
Is it funny?
Yeah, there's this one that's just like ripping all the pipes out of my wall so I can sell them at Home Depot. Coffee for dinner until my heart caves in on itself.
Do you guys remember when Paul Giamatti played the Rhino in Amazing Spider-Man 2?
Yes.
Yeah.
Incredible. All right, but let's talk about Big Fat Liar. You guys seem to have a lot to actually say about this, so I'll kind of usher it to you guys. For me, I remember seeing the movie, but I don't have like a close affiliation in any way with this film. I just knew that it was about, it was basically The Boy Who Cried Wolf as a story yet again.
Yeah, so I mean, I guess to give it a little bit of summary, it stars a little baby Frankie Muniz.
Who is 17 during the shooting of this film?
Is he really?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
I
looked it up.
Older than
little
Amanda
baby.
Bynes at the time, who was 16.
That's crazy. They both
Didn't
like
adult-
look so much younger.
Didn't an adult kiss Amanda Bynes? Or am I like?
No.
Are you talking about Dan Schneider, who wrote this film?
Never mind.
Oh, we'll get into the Dan Schneider.
getting
of it
ahead of
all,
myself.
don't
But here's my
fucking
thing with the
worry
Dan
about
Schneider
it.
thing. Okay, or here's my thing with the Dan Schneider thing before we even continue. If we don't go into the Dan Schneider thing enough, I promise you, whenever we do Good Burger, I will do a
Good.
deep dive. So we don't have to go over it a lot, but it's a relevant statement to make that Dan Schneider wrote this film.
And I think
Amanda Bynes was in it.
And I think we'll
Right.
get into it, but like Dan Schneider being the author of this film was a very interesting thing to me. But
Yeah,
anyway,
definitely.
and so he plays a kid who is like class clown type of dude, always telling lies, you know, the type of person who can like talk his way out of anything. So he gets caught in a lie about why he didn't write his English paper, and he now has like this big deadline to write it, and it gets stolen by a movie producer played by national treasure Paul Giamatti. As a result, he has to go to summer school, and in order to get out of that and win his dad's trust back, he goes to LA to get it back, and
To not even to get it back, to have Paul Giamatti's character, who stole the concept for his story in the limo,
call his dad.
call his dad and be like, he wrote this. He didn't even want credit for the movie. He didn't want any money. He just
Right.
wanted him to tell his dad, hey, which I think plays into the whole thing, like of like how ridiculous Paul Giamatti actually is.
Right.
Like he could have like a real legal problem on his hand, and this child is just saying, just say I'm the one who wrote it, and that's all I need.
Yeah.
And Paul Giamatti's still like, fuck you.
Right.
That's why he deserves
Fuck you in
everything
your
he
ass.
gets. He deserves it all.
Mean to
Absolutely.
Jaleel White and shit.
Right.
Unnecessarily mean.
Racist.
Racist even. Racist even. That's true. In fact, Marty Wolf, isn't that his name, Marty?
Yeah.
Marty Wolf in this movie is just the fucking asshole the whole time.
Yeah,
like
no,
there's
and,
not
like,
a redeeming quality
There are
about
moments
him.
where
Right.
they show him being racist, and like on purpose, this is legitimately like he's being racist to them. Like when he meets the wife of the president of the
Oh my god.
of the what do you call it, the movie studio.
Yes, he calls
And-
her Shanae and shit
Well,
like
he
that.
calls her Shaniqua, and
Yeah.
then she corrects him to what her actual name is, and I can't remember what it is. It's like, I don't know. I don't remember.
It's best not to guess, Madison.
Yeah, I have no
Nothing
idea.
close. Like
Yeah, it's not close. It just
Right.
starts with an S, and I can't remember it. And then, you know, she says that to him, and then he's like, all right, like, let me borrow your husband for a minute, Shanae. And it's like, okay, so he's just racist.
Right.
Which is funny because I watched this movie a lot as a kid, and I did never even, like, that moment never clicked.
Yeah,
for
he's
me.
Black White's level of racist. If you haven't seen Black White,
Oh, God.
produced
Yeah.
by Ice Cube.
You just, like, were, like, itching.
I was begging, man, anything to talk about Black Bruno, anything at all.
God.
But that's for you all to find out there. I'm not going to get into specifics. I think that like this movie kind of an issue with this movie, I think, in order of like staying in the general consciousness, is I think that it was too drawn with the guy having blue skin. It was in all the promotional material.
Yeah.
It's the iconic imagery of the film.
Right.
And it's really not that much of the movie. And I thought that was interesting. That's not really a critique. I just think that that's so weird because whenever I think of Big Fat Liar, I think of the dude being blue like the whole movie, and that's literally not the movie at
it
all.
was funny because
Right.
like as
Also,
we were
he
watching
looks
it-
better blue.
He does look better.
Correct.
blue.
As we were watching it, I was like, I was convinced when Logan told me about the movie that I hadn't seen the movie. And then like things would happen in the movie and I kept being like, I think I've seen this movie, but I'm not sure. And he was like, just wait, like there's going to be like one very specific piece of imagery that like you'll know if you've seen it. And the second he started doing the fucking dance into the pool when he was about to turn blue, I was like, I've seen this
Iconic
fucking
moment.
movie.
Crazy.
Yeah, absolutely. Like,
And I think it's funny too, because like something I kept noticing. So we started this movie, and then Bridget fell asleep, and then we picked back up again, and so we had to rewind a little bit to stuff I'd already seen. And both times, I made a weird like note of the fact that no one talks about that he's blue.
right. Nobody
Like
even
nobody
mentions it.
even says anything, and it's fucking bizarre.
They're like, wow,
And
just another day.
I don't know. Like, should we get into it? Because I kind of have a theory about this. Like,
You
We
do?
have
I wanna
theories.
hear it.
First, Franny, say your PDA thing because I think it's important.
Oh yeah. So what the fuck? Seeing a PDA on the like
Oh my
on
God.
screen like that.
Yeah, you all remember
yeah.
bookmobile sales
It
where they would have
broke
everything.
my brain.
They'd have a bunch of books and then a PDA, and everybody would just buy a PDA and 0 books, and they'd
Oh my
message each
God.
other with them.
Yeah.
I never had a
No.
PDA.
I
never had that
PDAs.
experience.
What?
Really? Because it was pretty
Really?
common. It was like you'd go to the book fair and they'd have a ton of books, but you'd get a little bit of money from your parents to buy something from this book fair, and all the kids, every kid, would buy 0 books and 100% these PDAs that like played games and
How
you could
much
send
were they?
messages with. They weren't that much. They
Yeah, I
were
don't
like
even
pretty
know,
inexpensive.
But I remember having them. It was crazy. Like I vividly remember like plugging stuff into my PDA,
really?
and I'd like forgotten PDAs existed.
I
And
had
then
two,
like
kind of.
I watched this and it all came back to me. I was like, holy shit.
like you'd not only like use it to like watch videos, like because you could download videos onto the newer
Yeah.
ones, but you'd listen to music on there because you could hold music files, play
you
games.
keep contacts. Like literally
Keep
it was like
contacts.
a contact book.
And then also
Yeah.
you wrote like your notes in there of like your schedule, and like nerdy ass like kids, soon to be Drake girls would like keep their little schedule on their little PDA.
And there are like small little games that you could play.
I
like,
just did not
yeah,
have
I-
this experience at all.
you're a little bit younger than
Actually-
everybody, so maybe it was
That's
just
true.
already
Yeah.
gone.
I
me
actually
and
do
Madison are the
remember-
same age, exactly.
Oh, well, never
So-
mind. I definitely
do remember them.
experienced it. I remember them
I don't remember
distinctly.
anybody having a PDA.
I remember everyone having them, and like even if you even like in elementary school though, once we all had phones, obviously they weren't important, but like every kid in elementary school would have one for like the first 3 months after the book fair, and then everybody would lose theirs by that point.
That's hilarious.
Nobody would have the same one, and then when a new book fair came around, you'd order the newest PDA, and you'd get that. And it was like a little like magazine that you colored in what you wanted.
I remember those. I
Everybody
just
got
never-
PDAs. Everybody, little
Like-
personal digital assistants.
Yeah, no, we
Damn.
did not have that. That was
I-
not part of my school culture.
I know that I said earlier that I don't remember, but I actually do remember having a little PDA.
Mm-hmm.
It was like one of the old ones for my parents. I remember trying to write an entire novel on it. It didn't work out.
That sounds like
bet.
something you'd
It's
try.
like, or the other thing they'd have is they had like these like discount budget Tamagotchis that weren't Tamagotchis, but
love
they
Yes,
were.
I remember
Tamagotchi.
those.
Those were always there too. You know, like
Yeah.
I remember there was one where you could pick up the dinosaur's poop. I thought that was weird.
Right.
Like you could pick it up and like put it back down. And that's it. You couldn't get rid of it. Like, or you could, but you could just put it back where it was. It was weird. Not the point.
There's
But
a
yeah.
really funny moment in the movie too where he's like talking about like how he wants the movie to be advertised, and he's like, I want it on the radio, I want it on TV, I want it in the newspaper, I want it on the internet or whatever that thing is. That internet crap is what he says.
2002, baby.
And I'm like, oh
Insane.
yeah.
This movie, if you guys haven't seen Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back yet, but I'm just telling you, this movie ripped its plot from it. It is almost the
It's
same
great.
plot. It's
Oh
very
my
similar.
God.
So Jay and Silent
Damn.
Bob Strike Back, in my opinion, is a bit more fun. But this is a good kids movie overall. I think. I think it's entertaining.
I loved it when I was a kid. This is what I thought Hollywood was like.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was kind
As
of
a
like
child.
it was kind of like a Pee-wee's Big Adventure, or like a movie where it's like super involved with Hollywood. Like
Yeah.
kind of showed that glamorous side of it. They're sleeping literally where the props are kept.
My dream.
Right.
Which is insane. Also, her being forcibly suspended like that
Yeah,
is
there's some
very weird
Amanda
and
Bynes
porno
moment.
like.
What do you
There's
mean?
a scene where she's on the
Yeah.
Velcro wall and she's
That
stuck
was
there.
that was uncomfortable.
That's very fucking weird.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the
it
scene where
is.
he's like ripping her off, even weirder. Also,
She's in
they,
crop tops in every scene.
they were 100% having sex during this movie.
Absolutely.
I promise. The sexual chemistry is annoying.
They wanted. I think they won or were nominated for like a Teen Choice Award for most chemistry.
They were like definitely
Yeah.
having
It's like,
sex.
ew.
She was like super into like Frankie Muniz's like weird smallness. She was like definitely into him.
Smallness.
You know he like simps
my
Lizzo
God.
on Twitter, right? Like he's been begging Lizzo to ask him out or like to go out with him.
That's amazing.
yeah.
I love it.
I understand it for sure.
He like simps Lizzo hard.
Logan, you
Me
said
too.
something when we were watching it. You said like a lot of the scenes with Amanda Bynes kind of feel like they're set up like
they're
a
pornos,
porn.
dude.
Yeah.
There's so many,
Right.
like they show off her like washboard like body so many times,
And like
she's
just
always
the porno
doing
logic and stuff
yeah
too.
porno logic. Like she walks away from the desk and now she's got a goofy voice, and how she like kind of talks in a weird way on the phone with
Yeah.
people all the time. There's always an element of her being on the phone and talking weird, and it just feels
Yeah.
really porno.
Ugh, it makes you
It
feel so
does.
icky.
And I think we all
And
know why.
she only gets to be Amanda Bynes in one scene.
Right.
And the scene
Right.
is where like they're all planning the new version of how they're gonna take him down. She's like, "This is what we need to do." Blah, blah, blah. And she was like doing her Amanda show thing where she was talking crazy, like,
Yeah.
I don't know, maybe blah 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 blah. Blah. She does not get another scene like that in the whole fucking
Yeah.
movie. It's just
Right.
her being tall
Right.
Yeah.
in the rest of the scenes.
So I actually like looked into the making of like this movie in conjunction with Dan Schneider, and turns out like the first draft of this movie was conceived not in a retelling of this fairy tale, but like it started with was just like they wanted to pitch a movie that was just set in like that costume and like prop area.
Oh,
That's problematic possibly, but I could also see where like if you were a kid who's obsessed with Hollywood writing a story
Yeah.
about living in the prop
Yeah.
room,
I just think it's weird.
it's a little weird. I think that I don't know if that is the worst part about
No,
this.
I just thought
but
it was
that is
interesting.
definitely sus, baby. That is
What, the other
that's a
thing-
little bit of a self-report a little bit.
The other thing that's interesting to me about this movie is because like fundamentally the movie is about like powerful people in Hollywood using and abusing children.
I
and
thought
their
the same
talents to
thing.
make a fucking
I thought the
profit.
same fucking thing.
And okay, so this is what I was talking about when I was talking about the blue thing. Nobody notices it. It's almost like a fucking metaphor for how everybody knows that there are fucked up individuals in Hollywood walking
Oh my
around.
God.
People know it. It's an open secret. I realize I sound like fucking a conspiracy
No,
theorist here,
dude, seriously?
but it's like almost like it's a metaphor, and it's
Whoa,
really
I got
weird.
And the
Goosebumps.
water didn't even wash the paint away.
Yes.
Like nothing took this paint off of him.
And the only
At
person
all.
who recognized it, the only people who recognized were like non-Hollywood people, like all the industry people. Like they weren't saying shit about it.
Not only were they not
Yeah.
saying shit, but at the end of the movie, after they all strike against him, you know that everyone knew that about him.
Yeah, absolutely.
Ooh, creepy.
And then at the end, he's like a clown. Weird.
Yeah, I hate that. I hate that ending.
And then
Shook.
it's like Dan Schneider of it all. It's so weird to me. It's so weird.
There's a
Yeah.
very Danny Boy line in here. Did you hear the feats don't fail me now line that somebody said, and it was like plural? I think it was like Amanda said it or something.
No, it was
God.
Who said it?
it was Marty.
It was
I didn't even
Marty, yeah,
notice
but
that.
he said feats don't fail me now, and I was like, okay, Dan.
It's when he was chasing a child for the little monkey he kept in his
Yeah.
bed.
Right,
yeah,
yes.
that was
The monkey
bizarre.
shit was weird too.
It was weird.
Yeah.
What was the
That
point
could
of
definitely
it?
play into like Madison's thing.
It's
yeah,
so
like I think
weird.
that a lot of time, I think that like Dan Schneider is unfortunately good at making children's television.
It's,
And, like,
and
I
that
think
in
that
of itself, like
that's-
he like
that's
really
creepy.
understands what children enjoy.
And that's why it's
But not
cool.
only that, but did you notice that there's like 80%, like any chance, like she said, for him to involve a foot in the dialogue, bam,
Any
it's in
chance.
there.
Oh my god!
And
I
he
just
wasn't
thought
the
of
director,
something.
so it's not like he could choose what these scenes looked
And
like.
so
But he did write.
He
the film.
wrote
You
it,
know what?
and he wrote feet even into the end of the film, like when he
Right.
like his when he's like shrinking down.
with his shoes.
And
yeah.
one of the depiction like writings that I saw, like of like him describing a scene, is the trailer scene where the car is crushed by a giant foot.
Yes. Oh my god. So
There's
weird.
another thing too, like when we're like we said with Dan Schneider being really good at directing kids content, it's like he hits all the check boxes that he knows will get like kids hyped up to. It's like monster trucks and like funny fart jokes and like shit like that.
Right.
Like he knows exactly what the fuck to do to make it an
It's
epic movie.
Blue people, like
Blue
Paul
people.
Giamatti slapping his stuffed monkey in the bed.
Yeah, like
Right.
monkey.
acting like a monkey.
Yeah, like he knows exactly how to make it
Kids
like
fighting
epic as
adults.
fuck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tons of kids fighting adults in this movie.
Getting, like,
Oh, so
swarmed
many.
by these children.
He's like
It's,
definitely
the-
like
Oh my god, I didn't even think about
Man
that.
in a
That's
van.
so wrong
Yeah.
and creepy. Oh my
I know,
god.
it's so gross.
when he got
And I
tackled by all the
Yes.
kids
So
at the
are
end.
you still thinking about rating this movie higher than Crywolf? Because I'm changing my mind.
I don't know, like it's so weird because it's like such a nostalgic thing for me as a kid, and I actually genuinely do think
It is
funny.
genuinely entertaining for
It's
sure.
funny, and I think that like the kind of thing that it's about is interesting. It's like these adults taking advantage of children and saying that that's unequivocally that's a bad thing. And then like, but somehow Dan Schneider is attached to it.
Yeah.
And it's fucking crazy.
And there's
And
more
I,
to
like,
it than
I
that,
can't
though. I mean,
conceptualize it.
he-
And Amanda Bynes is there.
also
and, like,
giving children who's supposed to be like every fucking chance he got, he made a joke about how he's not 12, he's not 13, he's 14. I mean, holy shit, it
Ugh.
was baked into the plot, like hardcore.
Yeah.
That's
weird.
fucking weird. And also him picking Frankie Muniz, like the casting of the character is strange too. Like it's odd. It's really odd. Like
Yeah, it's
they-
bizarre.
Basically, the whole movie is based around like he even looks younger than he is. Like that's
Yeah.
constantly brought up, even though the
Yeah.
actor's 17. They constantly bring up, oh, I'm 14, not 12, not 11, not 10, not 13. Like, why is that so important that he's a younger person
Yeah.
who is actually older? Like, that's weird.
Yeah.
That's weird. It's a weird thing to do.
Icky.
But the question is, are we only examining it that way based on what we know? Is that something we'd pick up on by ourselves? I don't know. I think that's why it was so fully baked into the plot and people didn't catch
it's
on.
really weird. And like,
Right.
yeah, it's interesting because like the thing that I was saying about him being blue, like that was something I immediately picked up on. Like nobody notices this, and I'm like, why? This is such a weird. And for a second, I was like, is this like a plot hole? Like people just don't care. Like, and I thought it was like, I thought of it that way. And then like at some point in the middle, I was like, wait, Dan Schneider wrote this movie. Like I forgot that he wrote it. And at that point, I was like, ew, icky. And then that's like when it started to fit together. So I don't know. I mean, probably what you said is right. It's like baked into it. It's like you don't even think about it.
Yeah, I
It's
I
like,
would agree
did
with
Dan
that.
Schneider even know that that's what he
I
was
honestly
doing?
don't think so because
I was thinking the
like
same
Bridget
thing.
said, it went through a lot of rewrites.
Yeah.
It did. It
Like
went,
this,
it was like
this was a different
rewritten to
movie at
death.
the beginning.
And
Yeah,
so
but to be fair
it's-
though, he was a part of those rewrites. That
Yeah,
should also
yeah,
be mentioned.
absolutely.
Yeah.
He's not only wrote the screenplay, he also worked on the
Yeah,
physical writing of the film
yeah.
too.
He
Like,
couldn't hide it. It just like shined through this movie, like his fucking
Right.
fucked up.
I would really
I think-
like to see the first draft and
I would
and
too.
then
I
examine
agree
it.
with that.
Because I don't even think Dan Schneider knew what he was doing.
No, I
Yeah.
don't think so either.
I really think
Absolutely
this is a
not.
self-report.
right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
It's like it's
Like he didn't see any problems
it's
with
so
this.
on the nose that he's not even aware of it. Like it's
Right.
ridiculous. And like yeah, and I think like Bridget was saying, like this movie went through so much rewrites that I think
So much.
it took on something. It became something different than what he had originally intended it to be, and what it became was this like you said, a self-report. I
Yeah.
think if he had directed this film, it would be an entirely different story. Like I think if it was like
I think then we could really tell.
oh yeah, it
Because
would be
I
obvious.
bet he would make notable changes to the
Yeah,
direction.
absolutely.
Make things more hidden if he did it on purpose.
Yeah.
But if he didn't know what he was doing, it would be even more blatant. We'd be seeing Amanda Bynes' feet every 10 seconds.
yeah, it's disgusting.
It's crazy. It's just
Yeah.
crazy.
It's fucked up. Just like when you break this movie down to what its theme is.
I
it's-
actually appreciated the lack of physical foot in the film.
I did too, yeah.
I thought I was going in for a lot of foot, and I didn't get a lot, and that was good.
I didn't remember a lot of foot, so I was pretty confident it would be all right, but I wasn't sure. I was like, maybe there's just foot and I don't remember, but not really.
was it different for you, Madison, watching it this time, like through the lens of knowing who Dan Schneider is versus like how you remember it as a kid?
Yeah, kind of. And I mean, like when I watched it as a kid, I was like, oh, this Marty Wolf guy is like just one really evil dude, and this is not what Hollywood is. But when I watch it as an adult, I'm like, wow, he like really represents a thing in Hollywood of how children are exploited by powerful people.
Yeah.
I mean, he
Like,
says
that
it himself.
runs
He says,
through. Yeah.
he says, and I quote, "It's a wolf eat wolf business."
Right.
Right.
And then this producer who's preying upon these children is iconicized as a wolf the whole film.
Yeah.
I mean, he literally howls at one point, for fuck's sake.
It's ridiculous. And yeah, so I think that's the way it's different because like now I realize and I think to a level that it has to be intentional that they are saying that they are making this statement.
I don't know what it is, man. I
don't think?
don't think they saw this as them making that statement. I think they saw this as like this guy's a jerk in Hollywood, because all these people at the end come together and stop him.
Yeah. I
So
guess that's true.
I think they actually believed that they were writing this unbelievable character who's a liar, who if the main character didn't get the no and didn't learn that
Yeah,
lying was bad the whole
that's
time,
true.
he'd end up like him.
Yeah.
That's kind of like more what I see as the film's depiction. I don't see it as them saying that's how everybody is. I think they actually point out the fact in the movie on purpose that he's an outlier, even though, to be honest, he really isn't.
Yeah, I
Right.
think you're right. I think that's true. I take back what I said.
I do think
you're
that's
right about
interesting
that.
as well.
It's just weird. It's just a weird
It's-
thing. Yeah, so that's how it's different for me to watch it as an adult. But
Yeah.
yeah, it's funny though, because like there are like just lines of this movie that I remembered. Like I knew when certain lines were coming. It was weird.
What'd you guys think about the VP of Twinkies? And then her eating a Twinkie at the end. What was your thoughts on
I
that?
thought that if she hadn't eaten the Twinkie, I thought that would have been like a perfect thing. But
And the way she like orgasmed over that Twinkie
Yeah.
too, like they really had her ham it up when she ate the Twinkie.
Yeah,
Yeah.
just like dumb.
and like nobody else had to do that. Like nobody else who was involved had to like have a moment where they like acknowledged that what he said was true.
you had a note here that you wanted me to remind you of. Shot like.
The action scene on the roof is shot like a John Chu movie, and I'm all about it.
Oh yeah, I
Isn't
love
John
it.
Chu the guy that's in it?
No, you're thinking of that's an actor. Is his name John Chu also? Wait, hold on. The guy from Harold and Kumar, what's his name?
Oh,
Harry Shum or something? No,
Fuck.
What's his name? Somebody find it out. He's in the movie.
don't
He's
know.
really
I'm
good in the movie,
confused.
by the way. He's super funny in it. But what I was gonna say is like like Mission Impossible 2, like the John. I swear it's John Cho or John Chu. I might be forgetting what it exactly is. But in the 90s to early 2000s, there was a popular film director who made a lot of action movies.
His name is John Cho.
That's John Cho. Look up Mission Impossible 2 for me and tell me who the director is. I can't remember right now. But basically there was this director at a point in time where all of his action scenes were slow-mo on roofs with doves. Like
Yeah.
that was like the meme of it. It was every fucking movie he'd put out. There'd be doves.
John Woo.
John Woo. I was close. Ish.
yeah. So it was like a little homage to him. Yeah.
100%. I thought that was really cool. And then for it to also be like done by like an Asian director in the same scene, I thought was really funny.
Yeah, I want like, and I like all the like, what was I gonna say? Like all the cameos and stuff of like people being there and like Urkel playing himself and all that stuff.
You mean Jaleel White playing himself?
Yeah,
Kind of the message of the movie that he's not Urkel.
Right.
That's the joke.
Yeah, I'm just playing.
But yeah, so I thought that was fun, and like I mean I love all the scenes in the prop room.
I do too.
The montages are such an integral part of my childhood. Like
The limo driver
They
should go to
make-
jail.
correct.
Yeah.
Steady got famous.
They
Another
make
message?
like
No, I'm just kidding.
like they make Hollywood seem so like exciting and glamorous and like fun. It's I don't know. I just like it. I love that about it. It's crazy that like all this happened and then, you know, his parents came to get him or whatever. And at the end of the movie, his dad's like, "Wow, son, I'm really proud of you." And it's like, are you fucking kidding me? He should be grounded forever.
He should be
ran
imprisoned.
He ran away to
Yeah.
Los Angeles and waged psychological warfare on a man. Like, it was really intense. Like, they were talking about breaking him emotionally.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like on
And
an
they did.
intense level. They did. They really did.
yeah.
Yeah, that's insane.
He's a fucking sociopath.
What do you guys think about Taron Killam in the grandmother?
It's such an interesting thing that didn't need to be there.
I just
It's
think
kind of like sexual in a weird way.
I really love
Yeah.
Taron Killam as an actor though, because he went from
Yeah.
this to being like the hot boy in the Stuck in the Suburbs movie,
Yeah.
to being on Saturday Night Live. His career is fucking weird.
Yeah.
He pops up in the most insane
There's a-
movies.
He's just
There's like a
around.
moment.
And when he like does his doofus laugh and stuff, it's so fucking annoying.
Okay,
It
so
is.
this movie does the thing where like they're shooting a scene and you don't see the torsos and you're just seeing the faces with like weird reaction noises that like kind of feels like porn. And there is one of those with like the grandma and Taron Killam or
Oh
whatever
my
the fuck his
God,
name
you're
is,
right.
of him like doing
Yeah.
a push up or something where like they were like literally
He was doing
grunting.
a sit up and she
Yeah.
was holding his legs
Yeah.
down.
And like you just kept
Yeah.
seeing like that she was above him and he was below her. And
He's like, "Yeah, grandma.
you weren't, like,
Yeah.
that was the way the shots
You
were
should get
coming.
fit too." And then she starts lifting those balls of yarn. It's weird. It's
Yeah.
a little
It
weird.
is
Yeah,
weird.
and it's like it's
There's
such
a couple other times with that kind of scene. Like there was
A
one
lot.
with Paul Giamatti and I think Frankie Muniz, where it was like that,
I don't
or like
remember.
Amanda Bynes or
remember.
something. But like there's a couple scenes where it was like very much just like no torso.
The Amanda Bynes of it all was really weird.
yeah.
Yeah.
They made sure to show like her midriff and like how she was in like crop tops the whole movie in
And
all
like make
shots.
her seem
Yeah.
older in a lot
In
of ways
all
too.
shots. And
like
she's
working
younger than
at a
Frankie Muniz at
desk.
this time.
Right.
Yeah. They were definitely fucking off screen though.
Absolutely. 100%.
Good for them.
I don't know. Hard to say.
He was
Yeah,
Malcolm and
yeah.
she was the middle.
Oh
God. But yeah, it's just a bizarre movie that I
Bizarre.
love and also like makes me feel uncomfy and like
Yeah.
it's so weird.
Are you ever going to revisit it with this in mind?
I don't know. I probably would. I don't know. It's one of those things. I mean, it's such an important childhood movie. It was one of those movies that all three, like me and my two siblings, that all of us enjoyed. Like we all would be okay with watching it, so we watched it a lot because like it was this or Home Alone 24/7. We had to get some reprieve.
You guys only watched movies about child psycho, like
psycho
sociopaths.
Honestly,
killers?
yeah, it says a lot. We also watched a lot of Spider-Man too. I don't know how that fits in, but
That movie's so good.
I know
That's
it
the
is.
best of the three you
It
mentioned.
is. Yeah, I mean, we loved it.
Do we want to rate this movie?
Sure.
Do you want to start? What's your rating?
Yeah, I'll give it. I don't know. Gosh, I'm gonna give it a 6 out of 10 because it like there are like on a movie level, on like the level of just like the film in front of me, devoid of any kind of like cultural context. It's good. Like it makes me laugh. It's funny. It's got good pacing. You know what I mean? Like the jokes are funny, but it's like, you know, it doesn't try to be more than what it is. But then on like the context level, it's like, ew, ew, ew. It's rotted to the core
Yeah.
and I don't like it. So somewhere in the middle with an extra point for nostalgia.
I'm also going to rate it a 6. I think that, like, I just can't. Like, I love this movie again, also for childhood reasons, because I watched it as a child. But, like, I just can't ignore the Dan Schneider of it all. Yeah. So,
Icky.
it has to lose
I-
half.
I'd say I give it like a 6.5. Like I was so convinced I hadn't seen this movie, and I feel like this movie's just like embedded in my brain somehow.
That's
Like,
how I felt with
yeah.
a different movie we
Yeah.
keep trying
Yeah.
to record, but we can't do it.
But,
because we
like-
don't have cameras right now.
It's
Sorry.
It's okay.
this movie's a weird experience. I kind of like the case study of it.
Yeah, the story behind
yeah.
it now is pretty
Yeah.
interesting.
So
Yeah.
yeah, I'd say like it gets that extra like 0.5 from me for that, but like it is a struggle because like on a surface level this movie is super entertaining and fun to watch even as an adult, even though it's like clearly a kids movie from '02.
Yeah.
But it's just like
It's got like that
There's a
daddy
Dan-
daycare energy.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
But there's like that
that
Dan
was another
undertone.
one of those movies that we liked that we
Yeah.
could all watch.
It's like dumb and abhorrent and like random fart humor and stupid, but also kind of endearing
And funny.
and fun and genuinely funny. It went for the laughs and it swung sometimes and it missed sometimes, but
And like had
To
some,
kids,
and
it's
had
gonna
some,
hit
like,
half-
good like real actors and stuff. Like
yeah, Paul Giamatti, Frankie Muniz is a good child actor. I love the Agent Cody Banks movies. I think
yeah,
those
and
are
then
fun.
like in the Daddy Daycare you have Eddie Murphy, like you know, you have like real people.
But for me, I think that because this isn't the best of Muniz core, like I love fucking Agent Cody Banks. I think those movies are a lot more fun to watch. I think that this one is kind of like we talked about, like a little sus. There's a lot of jumps in logic, sometimes porno level jumps in logic.
Yeah,
And it's a 5 out of 10 for me.
yeah.
I also don't have the affiliation any of you guys do. I definitely have seen it as a kid. I definitely have heard of it. But for me, it just plays like a bad like Nickelodeon original movie. Even though that's not what it is. It was a theatrical film. But it plays like it was on TV in the early 2000s.
And it
Yeah.
was.
And it probably was afterwards. But it
It
was a
was.
studio film though. And for me, I'm like, I could use a little bit more out of this. Just a little bit more.
Yeah.
But it's fun. It's definitely entertaining. You'll have a fun time watching it.
Absolutely.
I think, especially
Yeah,
if you're in Minecraft, but even if you're not, it's got competent
I
level
was
humor.
I was not when we watched it.
It's fine, yeah.
I was very
it is
sober.
legitimately fine.
yeah.
But I think the story with it kind of knocks it down a point for
Yeah,
me.
and I just have like
Yeah.
a fondness for this movie in general, but yeah. I was gonna say one thing, and I don't remember what it was. God damn it!
It's like it lives in this camp of like we said, daddy daycare, like cheaper by the dozen. I think that people who saw these movies, these comedies, they were allowed to see when they were kids.
Yeah.
When they were kids, it attaches a little more.
Yeah.
Because it's really your intro to that kind of to film in a way, but also into like a comfort movie.
Yeah.
Because a comfort movie will stick with you forever, and the earlier it gets in, the more comforting it is.
Right.
Yeah.
And so I would like to know if anybody else like thought about the Dan Schneider of it all in this way.
I bet I literally we picked to review this movie, and even then I didn't know it was written by Dan Schneider.
Yeah.
I ended up looking some stuff up, and I saw it was written by Dan Schneider, and I sent it to you guys, and everybody was like, "What the fuck? I didn't know that either." So that totally changed how we were going to do this.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's why I said up the top, like, we're not going to be able to go through everything Dan Schneider because we did not prepare.
And
No.
like my thing with him being blue, like that just like really kind of came out of nowhere for me, but I feel like it's like an apt metaphor in a really
I agree.
weird way. And I'm curious to know if anybody else has like thought about that, and if not, like, do I need to write an analysis and post it to Reddit somewhere for some clout?
Yeah, and like the idea of like people in the industry not believing children, I
Yeah.
thought that was interesting.
Exactly.
And the whole plot's about a kid that isn't being believed. It's weird. It's weird.
And
It's
an
weird.
open secret that nobody's talking about.
An Open Secret, a great documentary here on YouTube.
Ooh, weird. Yeah, that is true. That it's like a kid not being believed about a big secret where he was taken advantage of by a Hollywood guy, isn't
Yeah.
it?
It's like,
Anyway.
wow,
It's
it's really right
And
there.
then the more
on
you
the
say the
nose.
title with that in mind, it sounds grosser. Big fat liar. It just sounds nasty.
It
just sounds a little nasty.
It's like I have chills.
I
Like,
used to
ugh.
work in a porno section. I used to, well, not in the porno section, but I used to work at a place with a porno section.
You used to do
and-
porn?
I used to work with porn, yeah.
You were in the porn?
Oh my gosh. We'd be so much better off.
One time I went.
If I was a porn star instead of a podcaster, we'd have so
It's
much more
not
money.
too late. Go
One
right
time I was
ahead.
at
That's
his
true.
work and like the porn section was like behind saloon doors and I was like, I'm gonna go back there, and he was like, don't do it. It's not like funny.
Like people always think it's gonna be funny, like the porn section, that's gonna be LOL. It's
I was
gonna be a
like-
bunch of corny
I was
porn.
like, no, LOL, it's
and
gonna be funny.
It's
and
not.
then I went back
It's
there, felt uncomfortable.
areolas in your face.
Oh God.
Oh my god.
Vaginas in your face. Penises in your face. Like right off the top, aggressive titles. Girl gets badonkadonk, whatever. Like just aggressively descriptive titles.
What about the other one?
Now there are a couple like utterly ridiculous. I love that title. I love all the Star Wars themed ones because the acting was always really bad, and like we got to see some of the trailers because we'd be looking stuff up to make sure it was the right title. And so I saw the porn trailer for the Bill Cosby one. Definitely not good. And then very upsetting. And the worst part is it was about that. It was literally about it,
Yikes.
which is horrendous.
It's ridiculous.
But what I'm
like-
saying is Big Fat Liar is
Yeah.
100% in that porn section. Like
Definitely.
that title is so aggressive.
Right.
It kind of plays at points, especially with some of the acting and some of the cinematography. It's kind of like a bad porno at some points.
Yeah,
like when
definitely.
she takes over the reception
Yeah,
desk,
the
and she's
logic.
like, hey, blah, 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 blah. It's just porn logic.
And like just making her
Right.
seem older than she was too. That like she
Yeah.
instantly knew how to do the job. And like there's a couple other moments like they kept like making these kids seem so independent and so much unlike other kids, and like they're special and smarter.
I hate the
Yeah.
limo scene. That point.
Yeah.
I'm like, shut the fuck up.
But it is ingrained in my memory from childhood.
Yeah, it's the worst. It's
Yeah,
in my
it's
head
annoying.
too. Yeah.
Wait, what?
The limo driver is at the front and he's like, you fur coat, blah, 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 my ass. You're not that person. And he's like, I'm not even going to have you guys explain to me, blah, blah, blah. I'm just going to take you guys home or whatever. And there's like, no, listen. He's like, and he like would pretend to be turning the engine of like turning the key on the engine, like playing over them. And then he went, like for like a minute and a half. And it was
It
so
went on way
fucking
longer than
annoying.
necessary.
I don't remember that. I think I fell asleep
you
during it
remember-
and didn't watch that.
Well, there was a
Sorry.
scene where they talk to the limo driver and they're like, do you know Marty Wolf? He's like, do I know Marty Wolf? I'm willing to break the law with you just to get back at him.
Right.
Yeah, I mean,
To help
I
you
do remember
break
that.
into his
That's the
home.
same scene.
Like help you break into
I don't
his
know
house.
why I don't remember that. Maybe I just was like uncomfortable and was like looking at something else. I was like,
Yeah, it's really something. This movie's a fucking trip. I would love to know people's thoughts. I hope this blows up. I hope we get some weird clout for like being like the dark meaning behind Big Fat Liar.
If we put Dan Schneider in the title somehow, I'm sure it'll get seen. If we figure that out, we put it in the tagged words.
what about Dan Schneider's Big Fat Liar?
Oh shit.
Dan Schneider's
All
Big
right.
Fat Liar. I don't want to give it to him.
Oh,
I know, I
that
hate
one
it.
was really painful.
I don't like it. This is cursed.
Well, you can listen to us youtube.com/crosscutcinema We're pretty much on all the platforms too. Apple, Spotify,
Anywhere you get your podcasts, you
yeah.
can find us.
twitter.com/crosscutcinema.
Much like fucking God. Hold on.
God's everywhere, guys. Also, a pilot podcast.
No. Wait. Just like fucking Bad Wolf, this podcast is ending very abruptly.
You mean cry_wolf?
Oh, Cry Wolf. What the
Bad
fuck?
Wolf.
Much like Bad Wolf. Please listen to my critical review of these films.
I said I was
Bad
a super-
Wolf and Big Dung Liar.
Hey, shut the fuck up. I was a super hulock and I'm very high. So leave me alone.
Oh, you have a hat that says Bad Wolf, Franny. I don't know what that means. Anyway,
It's a Doctor Who thing.
It is.
sounds like I didn't watch it.
Sounds like you weren't a super
I
hulockian.
was too
Anyways.
busy being better than that.
You can also
probably
find-
getting pussy and stuff.
Yeah, probably.
You
I
can
mean,
also-
I did too, but like, you know.
If anything, the whole not liking Doctor Who thing inhibited that for me. You know what I mean?
Right.
Because
Yeah.
all the nerdy girls who would be with a giant goth kid, like, which is already startling.
Oh yeah.
The ones that are
absolutely.
willing to deal with that are the ones that want to date mythical creature looking men, which are people who are into Doctor Who.
Yeah.
Right.
I had to get into anime.
Yeah,
It was
exactly.
a hard
Like,
thing.
when I look like Fruffalumpagus, there's got to be a girl who's willing to date like the mythical creature, like where
Yeah.
the wild thing is, and those are going to be the chicks who watch Doctor Who. Anyway, if you like me and Franny, you can check us out on our other podcast, a pilot podcast, youtube.com/a pilot podcast. You can get that anywhere you get podcasts, as well as if you like me in particular and you want extra content either from this show or that show or somewhere in between, you can go to youtube.com/Logan Tyler. Sorry, Logan Tyler Music, I fucking owned you. See you guys later. Peace out.
Bye.
Bye.